we're going to be painting. It's going to be Wednesday night, the 25th, tonight. Painting this beautiful golden sunset. I'll give the reference of the photographer from Unsplash later on when I post, the regular video. This is just a little advertisement to let you guys know. Obviously, I didn't do anything on Tuesday. This past couple of days have been so busy I couldn't have done it. But anyway, tomorrow I'll be mixing a lot of colors that you see here in the painting. Obviously, look at the orange against that orange. So you have to work with white and opposites and match colors from the golden browns in here. There's very brown over there, right? I'll have the little reference. I'll be working from light to dark, actually. So the yellows and the lighter part of the sky, that will be first. And then as I get the yellow going, I'll be working the orange over it and putting in the darker clouds and working into the browns over here. This is a whole nother animal. You got the bluish kind of gray up in here. So it's a separate section. And so I'll work, all around it. And the clouds that will be enhancing it because the night is coming and the sun is going down. You've got the wonderful reflection in the water, texture galore. And if you look very closely at the texture in the first set of waves, it's actually almost like speckly. So I'll be using the Blair synthetic paper. This is an 8x10. So the Blair synthetic paper, this is 5x7s. This will be, let me get one out here. I love this stuff. It's great. You can work on both sides. You can paint a painting on this side and this side. It's synthetic. It can take a real beating, considering you don't go crazy with the x-acto blade. But you can buy this at Blair, School of Realism, at his store. But that's what I'll be using. But a bigger sheet, I have to take it out of the roll and flatten it tonight under some heavy books to make it flat. And I'll be using things like, obviously, the black and white copies that I got here from Staples. It's the same image, right? If you look at it. So if I want a wave, if I need a stencil of a wave, I can cut out. That's why I got multiples, of this. And a horizon line is just going to be taped off, so there's nothing there. The drawing is just going to be laid out with a trace down from the graphite paper onto the image. And from there, it will hopefully look something like that. I have the smaller photos so that you guys can see when I'm working on a blank white page. You can have a little some reference in the corner. Be using the HP, what is this thing again? I haven't used it in a while. HPBS, it's the Eclipse series. The reason why I'm using it is a wider nozzle, and I'm going to be using it for making my colors because opaques are very thick, and it's just easier using that gun than having a lot of clogging issues with this, making so many colors. So this is the Micron that I'll be spraying in the painting, maybe even using this a little bit for the big areas. But for details and stuff, I'll be using the Micron Createx illustration colors that are wonderful. I love them. They even have a drying time, a cross-hatching time where they will not bond together and as quickly, and you can work on little things like going back in with a dowel and start tweaking tiny little speckle areas. And or you can use this dot stencil thing here. I think it's a dispersion, they call it. Drew sells this, and you can put speckles on and stuff by spraying through the size that's appropriate for the image. Then we'll be using possibly some, French curve for certain shapes. What happened to my light? Okay. Then I've got my smaller French curve, and that can be good for tiny little areas where you got to just protect an area and tweak it. You know, come by tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and see how I go about it. I love painting landscapes. I love painting seascapes. Uh, this part's fast moving. This part's not too bad. When I mean fast moving, it moves along, at a nice clip where you'll get to see a lot in the first video. This is not so fast, but I do have the Winsor Newton paintbrushes for tiny little shapes that I can just brush in. And then I have my airbrush. I can come back in here and just put it in, and got the specular highlighting, reflection on the water. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I even use a little palette here. This will be done tomorrow in the day at my leisure, not on camera. I'll be taking, for example, you take the yellow and you turn around, and the opposite of that yellow is going to be violet. That has some violet in it, but it also has white in it. Maybe even the little oranges are hitting it and stuff, but golden yellow, whatever. So there's opaque mixtures from transparent colors. They move quickly to the color, the transparents. So I don't buy opaque colors. Really interesting colors over here, and then you got the volumetric lighting that's shooting off from behind the cloud. All kinds of cool stuff. Let's take a number of videos to probably do as we get down here. And I hope you can join me. I'm looking forward to painting this one because it's one of my favorite subjects. And landscapes are very popular if you sell your artwork. I mean, people love hanging stuff like this on the wall. I've got this image from Unsplash. That's UN Splash. And it's available. You can donate. You can buy him a cup of coffee, or you can just turn around and mention his name on social media, him or her. I don't even remember who the name is right now. I got to put that up later. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on. I have my little color cups here that are 1 ounce. Got the palette for, like, if you're going to put this yellow in white, put a lot of white in and a little bit of yellow, you're going to have, and then you tweak it with the violet, whatever. You surely don't want to put a drop of violet, a drop meaning a full drop from the bottle, into this. You'll ruin it. You'll have brownish. So maybe if we're going for those colors, right? But in the meantime, yeah, I'll be using a paintbrush and this palette, and I'll put a drop of violet in there, and then I'll take a speckle of the violet and I'll put it in to push it to a grayer yellow. Okay? I don't teach the deep color theory. You can get that from Drew Blair. He sells the color theory in a box. I talk about basics, mixing opposites and things like that. And like I said, I have to prep this for tomorrow. So, it's a lot of hours beforehand. This is a long ad, 8 minutes and change. All right. I said it all, and I hope to see you tonight. Take care.